Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine if you could cut the time it takes to learn a new skill, master a complex subject, or absorb critical information by half. What would that mean for your career, your passions, or your life goals? Learning faster isn't just a competitive advantage, it's a gateway to achieving more, adapting quickly, and staying ahead in an ever-changing world. The truth is, learning isn't reserved for the talented or the gifted. It's a science, a process you can optimize. Today, we're going to uncover the key principles and techniques that unlock the brain's incredible potential to learn rapidly and effectively. Whether you're a student, a professional, or simply someone curious about how to make the most of your mind, this is for you. Let's dive into the strategies that will help you not only learn faster, but also retain more and achieve mastery like never before. Neuroplasticity is the remarkable ability of the brain to adapt, change, and rewire itself throughout life. Once thought to be static after childhood, we now know that the brain retains this flexibility well into adulthood, making it a powerful ally in the quest to learn faster. To harness this potential, one must understand the principles behind neuroplasticity and apply them strategically in daily life. At its core, neuroplasticity is the brain's response to experience. Every thought, action, or piece of information we encounter leaves a trace, strengthening some neural pathways while weakening others. This process occurs through the formation and pruning of synapses, the connections between neurons. Learning, therefore, is not a passive process. It is the active reshaping of these pathways in response to effort and engagement. The foundation of neuroplasticity lies in focused attention. When we concentrate deeply, the brain releases a specific neurochemical called acetylcholine, which acts as a marker for importance. This marker signals to the brain, this information matters, pay attention to it. Without focus, learning becomes shallow, and the chances of creating durable neural connections decrease significantly. Therefore, one of the most critical steps in leveraging neuroplasticity is to create an environment that supports intense focus. Minimize distractions, silence notifications, and dedicate specific periods solely to learning. But focus alone is not enough. Repetition plays an equally critical role in reinforcing neural connections. Each time we revisit a piece of information or practice a skill, the corresponding neural pathway becomes stronger and more efficient. This process, often compared to carving a trail in the woods, highlights why spaced repetition is such an effective learning strategy. By revisiting material at increasing intervals over time, we ensure that our brain strengthens the connections necessary for long-term retention. While repetition builds strength, the novelty of experiences keeps the brain engaged. The brain thrives on variety, and incorporating different methods or perspectives into your learning process can accelerate neuroplasticity. For instance, when learning a language, combining reading, listening, speaking, and writing engages multiple areas of the brain, enhancing the encoding of information. Similarly, applying knowledge in real-world scenarios or teaching it to someone else deepens understanding and solidifies learning. Another often overlooked aspect of neuroplasticity is the role of emotional engagement. The brain is more likely to remember information tied to strong emotions. Whether it's excitement, curiosity, or even a sense of urgency, creating an emotional connection to the material can make learning more efficient. This is why storytelling, visual imagery, or setting personal stakes can transform dry facts into memorable insights. Sleep is perhaps one of the most underrated tools in optimizing neuroplasticity. During sleep, the brain consolidates memories, processing and organizing the information absorbed during the day. This consolidation is essential for transforming short-term memories into long-term knowledge. Skimping on sleep not only impairs this process, but also reduces your ability to focus and learn the following day. Prioritizing quality sleep, particularly after periods of intense study, is non-negotiable for maximizing neuroplasticity. Recovery in general is critical to the learning process. The brain, like a muscle, needs rest after periods of intense effort to grow stronger. While focused study sessions are necessary for creating new connections, breaks and periods of relaxation allow the brain to integrate what has been learned. Techniques such as meditation, mindfulness, or even light physical activity during breaks can enhance this recovery process, making it easier to return to focus. Neuroplasticity also thrives on challenge and effort. The more effortful a task, the more likely it is to induce changes in the brain. This is why deliberate practice intentionally working on weaknesses or areas of difficulty is such a powerful tool. It pushes the brain beyond its comfort zone, requiring it to adapt and grow. Avoiding tasks that feel too easy and instead leaning into challenges ensures that learning remains an active, transformative process. However, neuroplasticity is not limitless. It operates within the constraints of time, energy, and biological readiness. For example, the brain's capacity for learning is heightened during states of calm alertness, a balance of relaxation and focus. This state can be cultivated through practices such as deep breathing or visualization before learning sessions. Similarly, managing stress is crucial. While moderate stress can sharpen focus, chronic stress floods the brain with cortisol, which impairs memory formation and hinders neuroplasticity. Lastly, it's important to recognize the power of belief and mindset in influencing neuroplasticity. Studies have shown that individuals who believe they can improve their abilities through effort are more likely to engage in behaviors that enhance learning. This growth mindset not only encourages persistence, but also aligns with the brain's natural capacity for change. By cultivating a belief in your ability to learn and grow, you create a psychological foundation that supports and amplifies neuroplasticity. In summary, neuroplasticity is the biological basis of learning, a dynamic process that depends on focus, repetition, novelty, emotional engagement, and recovery. By understanding and optimizing these factors, we can take control of how quickly and effectively we acquire new skills or knowledge. The brain is not a static organ, it is a living, adaptable network shaped by what we do, think, and experience. Harnessing the power of neuroplasticity is not only about learning faster, but also about unlocking the full potential of our minds. The state of mind you bring to the process of learning plays a critical role in determining how effectively and efficiently you can absorb and retain new information. It acts as the foundation upon which the entire learning process is built. When the mind is in an optimal state, the brain's neural circuits are primed for plasticity, focus, and retention. Conversely, a suboptimal state can hinder even the best learning strategies, making the process frustrating and inefficient. Understanding and harnessing the power of your state of mind can significantly accelerate learning. At its most basic level, learning requires a balance of calmness and alertness. This ideal state is sometimes referred to as relaxed focus or calm attentiveness. It is the sweet spot where your brain is neither overly stressed nor too disengaged. When you are calm but alert, your brain's neurochemicals, such as dopamine and acetylcholine, are at optimal levels, which enhances motivation, focus, and the ability to form lasting memories. This balance can be cultivated through intentional practices such as breathing exercises, mindfulness, or short moments of visualization before engaging in a learning task. Stress is a critical factor in shaping your state of mind. While moderate stress can act as a catalyst for focus, heightening your senses and creating a sense of urgency, chronic or excessive stress can be detrimental. Elevated stress levels flood the brain with cortisol, a hormone that interferes with memory formation and impairs the ability to process and store new information. Therefore, managing stress is essential for creating a state conducive to learning. Techniques such as progressive muscle relaxation, journaling, or even taking a brief walk can help recalibrate your mental state when stress levels become overwhelming. Equally important is your emotional state. Positive emotions such as curiosity, excitement, or enthusiasm can dramatically enhance learning by making the brain more receptive to new information. When you approach a subject with genuine interest, your brain releases dopamine, which not only boosts motivation, but also reinforces neural connections. This is why learning is often more effective when you find a way to connect emotionally to the material, whether through personal relevance, storytelling, or a sense of challenge and accomplishment. On the other hand, negative emotional states, such as frustration, boredom, or self-doubt, can act as barriers to effective learning. These emotions can disengage the brain's reward systems, reducing motivation and focus. Overcoming these states requires self-awareness and proactive strategies. For instance, breaking tasks into smaller, more manageable steps can help alleviate feelings of overwhelm, while incorporating variety or playfulness into the learning process can combat boredom. Self-affirming practices or reminders of past successes can also counteract self-doubt, fostering a more positive mindset. Another aspect of the state of mind is your level of energy and arousal. Learning requires a certain baseline of physiological readiness, which is influenced by factors such as sleep, nutrition, and physical activity. Fatigue or low energy levels can impair your ability to concentrate and process information. To maintain an optimal state of mind, it's crucial to prioritize restorative habits like getting adequate sleep, eating nutrient-rich foods, and incorporating regular movement into your routine. Even small adjustments, such as standing up, stretching, or doing light exercise before a study session, can elevate your energy levels and improve focus. Timing also plays a significant role in shaping your state of mind. The brain's capacity for focus and learning fluctuates throughout the day, influenced by natural rhythms like the circadian cycle. For many people, mornings are the most productive time for deep focus and cognitive work, while afternoons may be better suited for lighter, less demanding tasks. By aligning your learning sessions with these natural rhythms, you can optimize your mental state for maximum efficiency. Mindset itself is a powerful determinant of your state of mind. Adopting a growth mindset, the belief that abilities can be developed through effort and persistence, can transform how you approach learning. When you view challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles, your brain becomes more resilient and adaptable. This shift in perspective not only enhances motivation, but also fosters a sense of agency, making the learning process more engaging and rewarding. Distractions, both internal and external, can significantly impact your state of mind. Internally, a wandering mind or preoccupation with unrelated thoughts can derail focus. Techniques such as meditation or mindfulness can help train your brain to recognize and gently redirect these distractions. Externally, interruptions from notifications, noise, or other environmental factors can pull you out of the learning zone. Creating a dedicated, distraction-free space for study is essential for maintaining a focused state of mind. Recovery is another essential component of maintaining an optimal state of mind for learning. The brain cannot sustain deep focus indefinitely. It needs periods of rest to recharge. Structured breaks, such as the Pomodoro technique, where you work for 25 minutes and then rest for 5, can help maintain your mental state over extended periods. During these breaks, activities like stretching, walking, or even daydreaming can help reset your focus and energy. Finally, intentionality is key. The state of mind required for effective learning doesn't happen by accident. It must be cultivated. Setting clear goals, visualizing success, and reminding yourself of the purpose behind your efforts can create a sense of focus and determination. This intentional approach not only primes your brain for learning, but also makes the process more meaningful and enjoyable. In conclusion, your state of mind is a powerful lever in the learning process. By managing stress, cultivating positive emotions, maintaining energy, and adopting a growth-oriented perspective, you can create the mental conditions necessary for rapid and effective learning. Learning is not just a cognitive process, it is an emotional and physiological experience shaped by the state of your mind. By taking control of this state, you unlock the full potential of your brain and open the door to extraordinary growth and achievement. Accelerating learning requires more than just effort. It demands the use of effective tools and techniques that align with how the brain processes, stores, and retrieves information. By leveraging proven strategies, you can not only learn faster, but also retain knowledge more effectively and apply it in meaningful ways. Understanding and implementing these tools is the key to unlocking your brain's full potential. One of the most powerful techniques to accelerate learning is spaced repetition. This method involves revisiting information at gradually increasing intervals over time, rather than attempting to cram it all at once. The science behind this approach lies in the spacing effect, which demonstrates that memories are strengthened when retrieval occurs after some forgetting has begun. By strategically spacing review sessions, you challenge your brain to retrieve the material, reinforcing neural connections and making the information more durable. Spaced repetition software SRS like Anki or Quizlet can help automate this process, making it easier to track and schedule reviews. Deliberate practice is another cornerstone of accelerated learning. Unlike passive practice, which focuses on repetition without reflection, deliberate practice targets specific weaknesses and incorporates immediate feedback. This method forces the brain to engage actively, adapt, and improve. For example, if you're learning to play the piano, practicing challenging sections of a piece rather than replaying the parts you already know well will yield faster progress. Deliberate practice is demanding but immensely effective because it pushes the boundaries of your current abilities, triggering neuroplasticity and growth. Active recall is a technique that involves actively retrieving information from memory rather than passively rereading or reviewing material. Studies show that retrieval strengthens memory more effectively than passive exposure. For instance, instead of simply rereading a textbook chapter, you can close the book and attempt to summarize what you've learned in your own words. Flashcards are a practical tool for active recall, prompting you to produce answers rather than recognize them. This method not only consolidates memory, but also highlights areas where further review is needed. Multisensory learning taps into the brain's ability to encode information through multiple sensory channels. Engaging sight, sound, touch, and movement simultaneously can enhance understanding and retention. For example, when studying a concept, you might combine visual aids like diagrams with auditory explanations or hands-on activities. Writing notes by hand rather than typing can also strengthen learning because the physical act of writing engages motor memory and encourages deeper processing. And by involving multiple senses, you activate more areas of the brain, creating stronger and more interconnected memories. Storytelling is another technique that can make learning faster and more impactful. The human brain is naturally wired to understand and remember stories because they engage emotions and create meaningful connections between ideas. When you frame information as a narrative, whether it's a historical event, a scientific discovery, or even a mathematical principle, it becomes easier to recall and understand. For instance, remembering the steps of a process by weaving them into a story or imagining yourself as part of the scenario can significantly enhance recall. Visualization is a tool that leverages the brain's ability to simulate experiences mentally. Visualizing a skill or concept before performing it can activate the same neural pathways involved in actual execution, preparing the brain for action. Athletes, musicians, and public speakers often use visualization to rehearse performances mentally. In learning, visualization can help you organize information, understand abstract concepts, or mentally rehearse applying knowledge in real-world scenarios. This technique is particularly effective when combined with other strategies like active recall or deliberate practice. Movement and physical activity are often overlooked, but are critical components of accelerated learning. Exercise increases blood flow to the brain, boosting oxygen and nutrient delivery, and stimulating the release of neurochemicals like BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which supports neuroplasticity. Even short bouts of movement, such as a brisk walk or a few minutes of stretching, can enhance focus and cognitive performance. Additionally, integrating movement directly into learning, like pacing while reviewing notes or using gestures to explain concepts, can further enhance memory and engagement. Gamification, or incorporating game-like elements into learning, can transform the process into an enjoyable and motivating experience. By setting clear goals, earning rewards, and introducing a sense of competition, you tap into the brain's reward system, releasing dopamine and reinforcing motivation. Apps and platforms that use gamification, such as Duolingo for language learning or Khan Academy for academics, demonstrate how playful elements can keep learners engaged while promoting progress. Feedback is an essential tool for rapid improvement. Without feedback, it's difficult to gauge whether you're making progress or need to adjust your approach. Whether it comes from a teacher, mentor, or self-assessment tools, feedback should be specific, actionable, and timely. Constructive feedback allows you to identify mistakes, refine your techniques, and build confidence in your abilities. Seeking regular feedback ensures that your learning stays on track and aligned with your goals. Finally, rest and recovery are crucial for accelerating learning. The brain requires downtime to consolidate memories, process new information, and recharge. Sleep, in particular, plays a vital role in this process. During deep sleep, the brain strengthens neural connections and prunes unnecessary ones, optimizing the storage of knowledge. Naps, too, can enhance learning by providing a short burst of recovery and improving focus. Incorporating structured breaks during study sessions, such as the Pomodoro technique, allows the brain to maintain high levels of productivity without burnout. Incorporating these tools and techniques into your learning routine transforms the process from a passive endeavor into an active, engaging, and efficient practice. Spaced repetition, deliberate practice, active recall, and multisensory engagement work together to strengthen memory and understanding. Storytelling, visualization, and movement add layers of depth and emotional connection, while gamification and feedback maintain motivation and direction. Finally, rest and recovery ensure that your brain has the capacity to absorb and retain what you've learned. By mastering these strategies, you unlock the potential to learn faster, retain more, and apply knowledge effectively in any area of life. In conclusion, learning faster is not a gift reserved for the few, but a skill that can be cultivated by anyone willing to understand and apply the principles that govern the brain's potential. Through the power of neuroplasticity, we can shape our minds with deliberate effort, repetition, and focus. By adopting optimal states of mind, such as calm attentiveness and emotional engagement, we create the foundation for effective learning. Leveraging tools like spaced repetition, active recall, storytelling, and visualization allows us to deepen understanding and retention, while techniques like deliberate practice, gamification, and feedback push us toward mastery. Importantly, prioritizing rest, recovery, and physical activity ensures our brains remain resilient and primed for growth. Ultimately, learning faster is not about shortcuts, but about working smarter, aligning our efforts with how the brain naturally functions. When we approach learning with intention, curiosity, and the right strategies, we unlock the ability to grow continually, adapt to challenges, and achieve our goals at an accelerated pace. The potential to learn faster lies within each of us. It's simply a matter of taking the first step and committing to the process. The future belongs to those who master this skill.